Let's look at some additional auxiliary equipment for the extrusion system. Again, you have seen a lot of this in the video, but I just wanted to introduce them to you once again. This is a downstream equipment called water bath. This is one of the methods to cool the material out. Again, in the case of in a video that in the video that you have seen, where we were just making polymer strands or using a cylindrical die, and the prime purpose over there was to basically compound and then cut it into small pellets. But based on the die geometry, you can make different product shapes, and then you can cool them using the water bath over here. And this is one of the most effective ways, but of course you need to make sure that your polymer or a plastic is stable in water, and the most advantageous thing is that you can vary the, or you can control the temperature of the water bath by just putting the required amount of water in, and then pumping it out, pumping it in back, so on and so forth. This is the most effective way of cooling the product that is coming out of the extrusion system. The other method of cooling the material is through conveyor belts. This is also a good method, but the challenge here is that it's air cooled. So whatever temperature you can provide through the air cooling system basically is what the temperature that you can take out to cool the product. Because ultimately cooling a product means when it's coming out of the hot melt system, you actually have to take out the hot temperature out of it. So in a water bath system, you can do that by controlling the water temperature, but here whatever the air temperature is naturally, that's what you have to do. And also understand that from the tip to the toe of the conveyor belt, by the time it comes out of the toe, the product has to be completely cooled. And same is the case from the tip to the toe of the water bath. By the time it comes out of the water bath, it has to be completely cooled. So if your air cooling is not effective in taking off the heat much, then your material is still hot once it comes out of at the end of the product. And when it is hot, as you know, plastics have a lot of variation in the shrinkages, and if it is still hot, then your dimensional stability and everything may change. So it is still an effective way, but not as effective as a water bath system. Another way to enhance the effectiveness of this is by putting some special kind of water sprays on the conveyor belt system. So if you have a polymer which is one challenge with water bath system is that it's so messy. It may create a lot of challenges in terms of cleaning and everything, but air cooling system or conveyor belt system is much more cleaner in that fashion, and you can increase the effectiveness by putting some water sprays on the top of it, so that you can spray water which can cool it much faster. Or you can even have a long conveyor belt system as well. And pelletizer is another downstream equipment which comes right after the cooling. So basically you have the water bath, you have the extrusion system, you have the water bath or the conveyor belt system for the air cooling, and then you further down you will have the pelletizer. And the pelletizing system, as you can again might have seen in the video, basically chops off or cuts the plastic material, strands that are coming out, into smaller pellets, so that these are reusable in subsequent manufacturing operations such as injection molding, compression molding, blow molding, so on and so forth. Calendering is an additional process after the extrusion is done, basically to make sheets or films for specific purposes. So it's an additional auxiliary equipment infrastructure that you can add on to your existing extrusion system, but it makes certain defined profiles as desired by your application target. Co-extrusion is an interesting technology where you can actually make two different products combined into one within the same profile. So you can have the die system, and you can have two injection system coupled together, and you can have two different materials, and you can co-extrude them together, and you can see the parts, for example, which are made out of the co-extrusion technology.